Right, you lot, have you got your notebooks ready? Today, we're diving headfirst into the thrilling world of vehicle body types. Forget your boring PowerPoints and stuffy textbooks, because we're about to embark on a high-octane adventure through the fascinating realm of automotive design. Buckle up, because we've got a lot of ground to cover. Today, we'll explore the unique features and characteristics of 20 different types of vehicles. From the smallest microcar to the most monstrous off-roader, we'll dissect each type, uncovering its quirks, its strengths, and of course its inevitable flaws. So grab a cuppa, settle in, and prepare to become an expert on everything from hatchbacks to hypercars. Now, some of you might be thinking micros, those silly little things, and yes, they are small. Micros are like the gnats of the car world. They buzz around, you barely notice them, and they're surprisingly hard to squash. But don't underestimate these little fellas. They're masters of urban warfare, squeezing into parking spaces that would make a mini driver break out in a cold sweat. Fuel economy? Forget about it. These things sip petrol like a vicar at a tea party. Just don't plan any long road trips unless you enjoy cramped legs and the sound of your own thoughts. Trust me, after a few hours in one of these, you'll be begging for a Rolls Royce, even if it means selling a kidney. Ah, the hatchback. The reliable old Labrador of the car world. They're practical, versatile, and you know exactly what you're gonna get. 4 doors a boot and the thrilling ability to fold down the rear seats. They might not be the flashiest things on the road, but they get the job done. Need to haul some flat pack furniture? No problem. Taking the kids to football practice? Easy peasy. Just don't expect to win any style awards, unless of course you're rocking a classic Golf GTI. Now that's a hatchback with a bit of bite. Crossovers, or as I like to call them, slightly taller hatchbacks. They're the automotive equivalent of a pair of those comfortable but terribly unattractive walking shoes that your aunt always wears. Now, I'm not saying they're bad, they're just a bit bland, a bit like lukewarm tea. They're trying to be everything sporty, practical, capable off-road. They're not. But let's be honest, you're more likely to find one parked outside a Waitrose than you are scaling a mountain. Chapter 4 sedans, the old guard. The sedan, the classic 3-box design, as dependable as a Swiss watch and about as exciting as watching paint dry. They're the automotive equivalent of a well-pressed suit, respectable, dependable, and utterly devoid of personality. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some exceptions. A BMW M5, for example, could make a nun fantasize about doing donuts in a church parking lot. But for the most part, sedans are the automotive equivalent of beige wallpaper. They're perfectly functional, but they won't get your pulse racing. Chapter 5, Coupes. 2 doors, 2 seats, twice the fun. Now we're talking coupes. The sports cars of the saloon world. Sleek, stylish, and guaranteed to turn heads. Forget practicality, who needs back seats anyway? They're just for people you don't like. A proper coupe should be like a well-tailored suit, hugging the road, whispering sweet nothings to the tarmac with every corner. It's all about the thrill of the drive, the feeling of the wind in your hair, assuming you haven't gone bald yet. Just be prepared for the occasional awkward moment when you have to explain to your mates why they can't get a ride. Sorry, love, and the insurance in it. And Chapter 6. Coupe SUVs. Why? Just why? Coupe SUVs. Just take a moment to let that sink in. It's like mixing champagne with orange juice. A crime against both. They're the automotive equivalent of wearing Crocs to a wedding. An abomination that should never have seen the light of day. They combine the impracticality of a coupe with the dubious aesthetics of an SUV. It's like they took everything that was good about both and chucked it out the window, replacing it with a heaping helping of, what were they thinking? Honestly, if you're thinking of buying one of these, just don't. Your friends will thank you for it. Ah, the SUV, the chariot of choice for the suburban elite. They're big, they're brash, and they guzzle fuel like a thirsty camel. They're also about as capable off-road as a goldfish in a desert. Now, I'm not saying they don't have their uses. If you're constantly ferrying around a small army of children and their accoutrements, then yes, an SUV might be the answer. But let's be honest, most of them never venture further off-road than the gravel driveway of a Waitrose. And don't get me started on their parking skills. Trying to maneuver one of these behemoths into a tight spot is like trying to parallel park a whale. Now we're talking off-roaders. These are the vehicles for those who like to get their hands dirty. Mud, rocks, rivers. These beasts laugh in the face of adversity. They're the automotive equivalent of a mountain goat. Nimble, sure-footed, and capable of conquering any terrain. Forget your fancy leather seats and heated steering wheels. These are tools, not toys. They're built for one purpose and one purpose only: to go anywhere and do anything. So if you're the kind of person who likes to escape the rat race and explore the great outdoors, then an off-roader is your weapon of choice. Pickups, the workhorses of the automotive world. They're tough, they're rugged, and they can haul just about anything. Whether you're a builder, a farmer, or just someone who likes to be prepared for anything, a pickup is a loyal and faithful companion. But don't be fooled into thinking they're all work and no play. A pickup truck with the right modifications can be a lot of fun. Think big tires, loud engines, and enough suspension travel to make a roller coaster jealous. Just be prepared for the fuel bills. These things drink petrol like it's going out of style. Chapter 10, MPVs, the people carriers, MPVs, multi-purpose vehicles, or as I like to call them, mobile living rooms. These are the vehicles for people who value practicality above all else. Need to transport 7 people in relative comfort? No problem. Got a mountain of luggage to haul? Easy peasy. They might not be the most exciting vehicles to look at, but they're incredibly versatile. They're the automotive equivalent of a pair of comfy slippers. Not the most glamorous footwear, but perfect for those long journeys. Just don't expect to win any style awards, unless, of course, you're driving a classic Volkswagen camper van. Now that's an MPV with a bit of character. Chapter 11. Wagons, the estate-of-the-art. Wagons, estate cars, shooting brakes. Call them what you will, but these are the vehicles for people who want it all. The practicality of a hatchback with the style of a saloon. They're the automotive equivalent of a Swiss Army knife. Versatile, reliable, and always up for a challenge. Need to haul some flat-pack furniture? No problem. Taking the dog for a walk in the country? Easy peasy. Want to make a stylish getaway from a bank robbery? Well, maybe not that last one, but you get the idea. Wagons are the thinking person's choice. They're for people who appreciate a bit of substance over style, but don't want to sacrifice either. Chapter 12. Vans, the workhorses of the world. Vans, the backbone of the economy. They're the unsung heroes of the automotive world, transporting everything from parcels to people, tools to tacos. They might not be pretty, but they're essential. They're the automotive equivalent of a good pair of work boots. Tough, durable, and ready for anything. They're not afraid of a hard day's work, and they'll never let you down. So next time you see a van, give it a little nod of respect. It might not be the most glamorous vehicle on the road, but it's definitely one of the most important. Chapter 13. Sports cars living life in the fast lane. Sports cars, the automotive equivalent of a shot of adrenaline. They're designed for one thing and one thing only: speed. They're the thoroughbred racehorses of the road, built for pure performance. They're low, they're sleek, and they sound absolutely glorious. They hug the road like a Formula One car, and they accelerate like a rocket. They're not for the faint of heart, but for those who crave the thrill of speed. There's nothing quite like them. Just be prepared to remortgage your house to afford one, and don't even think about taking it through a speed camera. Chapter 14. Cabriolets, letting the sunshine in. Cabriolets, convertibles, roadsters, whatever you call them, these are the cars for people who like to feel the wind in their hair. They're the automotive equivalent of a sunny day, bright, cheerful, and guaranteed to put a smile on your face. There's nothing quite like cruising along a coastal road with the top down, the sun on your face, and the sound of the engine in your ears. It's the ultimate feeling of freedom. Just be prepared for the occasional bird strike. And don't even think about getting caught in a downpour without the roof up. Chapter 15. Roadsters, the essence of driving. Roadsters, they're like the stripped-down, bare-bones version of a sports car. They're all about the pure, unadulterated joy of driving. They're light, they're agile, and they're an absolute blast to drive on a twisty road. They're the automotive equivalent of a go-kart, simple, fun, and guaranteed to put a grin on your face. They're not about luxury or comfort. They're about the thrill of the drive. So if you're looking for a car that's all about driving pleasure, a Roadster is the way to go. Just be prepared for a few creature comforts and maybe invest in a good raincoat. Chapter 16. Shooting brakes, style and space in one package. Shooting brakes. They're like the love child of a wagon and a coupe. They're stylish, they're practical, and they're about as rare as hen's teeth. They're the automotive equivalent of a unicorn, mythical creatures that are both beautiful and practical. They offer the sleek lines of a coupe with the practicality of a wagon. They're perfect for people who want a car that's both stylish and functional. So if you're lucky enough to come across a shooting brake, snap it up. You'll be the envy of all your friends. Chapter 17. Hypercars, the pinnacle of automotive performance. Hypercars, these are the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, the McLarens of the world. They're the automotive equivalent of a fighter jet, incredibly fast, incredibly expensive, and incredibly rare. They're the stuff of dreams. The cars that grace the walls of teenage boys' bedrooms. They're not really cars, they're works of art. If you ever get the chance to see one in person, consider yourself lucky. And if you ever get the chance to drive one, well, you've officially made it in life. Muscle cars. They're big, they're brash, and they're unapologetically American. They're the automotive equivalent of a bald eagle, powerful, proud, and a little bit intimidating. They're all about power and performance. They're not particularly sophisticated or refined, but that's all part of their charm. They're the automotive equivalent of a good old-fashioned burger and fries. Simple, satisfying, and always hits the spot. So if you're looking for a car that's all about raw power and attitude, a muscle car is the way to go. Just be prepared for the fuel bills and the speeding tickets. Limousines. They're the ultimate symbol of luxury and extravagance. They're the automotive equivalent of a private jet, expensive, exclusive, and guaranteed to turn heads. They're not really cars, they're mobile palaces. They're designed for one thing and one thing only: to transport their occupants in absolute comfort and style. So if you ever get the chance to ride in a limousine, savor every moment. It's an experience you won't soon forget. Just be prepared to pay a small fortune for the privilege. Open-wheelers. These are the Formula One cars, the Indy cars, the Formula E cars of the world. They're the pinnacle of motorsport, the fastest and most technologically advanced racing cars on the planet. They're not really cars, they're weapons. They're designed for one thing and one thing only: to go as fast as possible. They're incredibly loud, incredibly fast, and incredibly dangerous. They're the automotive equivalent of a lion, beautiful, powerful, and best admired from a safe distance. Well, there you have it, a comprehensive and utterly exhilarating journey through the wild world of vehicle body types. We've laughed, we've cried, well, I haven't because I'm a car, but you get the idea. And we've explored the fascinating diversity of the automotive landscape. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the world of vehicle body types. We hope you found this guide informative and helpful. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more automotive content. Remember, whether you prefer the nimble agility of a hatchback or the rugged capability of an off-roader, there's a vehicle out there that's perfect for you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to find a nice long stretch of open road and put the pedal to the metal.